As noticed my palette, I've had a lot of orange now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some of those kind of more lighter browny greens on the right hand side now. And I'm going to slip to a brush in a minute. I'm just going to see if we can create this tone quickly. Maybe a bit of crimson in there as well, a bit of red. You see those kind of more orangey tones coming through there, those orangey greens, which are very warm greens. We talk about, I can talk about the colour wheel probably another time. Yeah, to bend a colour to a warmer tone, of course, you have to add the reds, the oranges if you've got it on your palette, and they are desaturated at the moment, so again I've used a lot of black and blue from earlier on that's desaturated the tone, and a lot of these greens and foliage, the only areas that are really saturated I would suggest in this composition are kind of the areas which are hit by the light directly, which is on this this mound on the right of the path, and then the grass on the left hand side, and obviously the path itself, those areas exposed to the light. But because it's quite a bright piece, you can see even the light in the shadows of the tree trunks on the path are still painted with a reasonably light kind of bluey grey. So I've added sort of maybe cobalt blue, magenta to create that colour. So there's still lots of colour even in the darkest areas. And I might actually lighten and get some more sort of saturation and colour in the actual tree trunks themselves. To make the whole piece quite vibrant, but it's vibrant enough that any muted tones are kind of this foliage, which I'm doing now. And what I'm going to do, so that's okay, just get that effect. Again, pushing over the surface. I'm just going to flip to a brush, which I think looks like a medium-sized round head. Again, notice the way I'm holding my brush. So if you want detail, for example, if you want to paint detail, I would hold it more like a pencil. But again, when you want a more of expressive effect, something a bit more unpredictable, a bit more emotional, with the emotional impact of the way you react to a painting, and maybe its extension of your arm, the direction of your brush, you have to hold the brush like this, so with the arm straight, and you're kind of dabbing and dictating the movement with your arm as opposed to your wrist, because your wrist will try and control things and make everything look very controlled. If you don't want it too controlled, it's best to hold it slightly different. So yeah, I'm getting lots more green on there, I think. I'll just create a bit more of that warmer green there, just to go in here. Again, notice the way I'm painting, coming across, dabbing with my wrist, maybe a slightly impressionistic style, dabbing over here as well, over this side. So it's all about building up texture. That's what it is. It's not basically painting the individual leaves, it's painting the areas where the leaves are, and maybe pressing down on the darker areas, and the lighter areas maybe going in with maybe a scumbling effect. That's when you go in with a brush and you've got less paint on your brush, the bristles, and it's just taking up less room on your canvas, so it's taking up less volume on your canvas, the paint surface, and then more of that's coming through, so it appears lighter on your canvas, the effect, whether it's less leaves or whatever on the foliage. But that's just the effect. But this in this area, I'm just going to press a bit harder again, back in with that, maybe add a bit more phthalo green. And the phthalo green is really important because it gives that intensity. And feeling a bit like Bob Ross at the moment. It's really weird. But, I think it's first time I've actually, well, one of the first times I've actually done a video when I'm talking, so hopefully you're enjoying it. But I think, yeah, when it comes to foliage, like I said, be as unpredictable as possible in the areas where you need to be. For example, over here, over these branches, pressing down, scumbling there. I'm using some strokes are a little bit more intense, a bit more rigid, others a little bit more, like I said, ambiguous. I'm going, those lighter tones on there. And I will, in a minute, do some more branch work, because we don't have enough branches in the middle here. I was just giving a demonstration, obviously, how to create a lot of the foliage. And again, this is obviously the base layer, and you're going to pick up those more intense colours later on, maybe in the more dense areas of the trees. You can press a bit harder on